Welcome to Too Easy to Learn. Compound interest. We will discuss the concept and exam questions in this lesson. By the end of this lessons, students will be able to describe interest and compound interest. Write compound interest formula. Apply compound interest formula to solve exam questions. Let's start our lesson. Interest. First, we should understand what is interest. Interest is the additional money paid or earned for using someone else's money. For example, you deposit in a bank some amount in a bank, or you get loan from a bank. So if you deposit amount in a bank, the bank will pay some extra money because the bank is using your money. Or if you get loan from a bank, you have to pay some extra money because you are using bank's money. So interest is the additional money that is paid or earned for using the someone else's money. Compound interest. Compound interest is when the interest earned or paid is added to the principal, and the subsequent interest calculations are based on this new total. This means that the principal amount increases over the time as earned or paid interest accumulates. Let's discuss compound interest formula. So A is equal to P times 1 plus R over 100 whole power T, where P is the principal amount, which is the actual amount borrowed or invested. A is the total amount at the end of the decided time period, and it is equal to principal amount plus interest P plus I. T is the time period for which investment is decided. R is the interest rate, and it is usually based on annual basis. I is the interest earned at the end of the decided time period. So it is calculated by subtracting the principal amount from the total amount. So I is equal to A minus P. Exam questions. Let's discuss few exam questions and apply this compound interest formula. Question number 1. Kamal invested $1,200 in a saving account paying 1.8% per year compound interest. He left the money in the account for 5 years. Calculate the amount in the account at the end of 5 years. First, we need to extract the given information. So write down the given information, the principal amount, the actual amount invested, which is $1,200. It is P. And the compound interest rate is 1.8% per year. And the time for which the amount is invested is a 5 year. We have to calculate the total amount in the account at the end of 5 years, and it is equal to A. It is mentioned in question is a compound interest. That's why we will apply the compound interest formula. So A is equal to P times 1 plus R over 100 power T. So plug in these values in this formula. So value of A we have to calculate. The value of P is 1200 times 1 plus R is 1.8%, and we will plug in 1.8% divided by 100, and time is 5 years and T is 5. So whole power 5. So solve this bracket by using calculator. So A is equal to 1200 times 1.018 whole power 5. So you will use calculator to get this answer. Now again use the calculator to get the final answers. So A is equal to $1,311.957, and we will have to round it off nearest cents. It will become $1,311.96. Question number 2. Sami invested $2,000 in an account paying compound interest at a rate of 1.8% per year. Calculate the total interest paid to Sami after 3 years. Let's extract the given information. The P is $2,000. It is the principal amount which is invested. And R is 1.8% per year. Time is 3 years for which this amount of money is invested. And we have to calculate I. So at the end of 3 years, how much extra money is given for this $2,000. Again, this question based on the compound interest. So therefore, we have to apply the compound interest formula, which is equal to A is equal to P times 1 plus R over 100 whole power T. Plug in these values in this formula. First, we'll calculate the total amount at the end of 3 years. So P is 2000, R is 1.8, T is 3. Use calculator to find this answer, and it is $2,109.955. We will now, this is the total amount at the end of 3 years, but we have to calculate the total interest which was paid for $2,000. We know that A is equal to P plus I. So total amount is principal amount plus interest. The value of A you will plug in, value of P you will also write here, and I you have to calculate. So I is equal to 2109.955 minus 2000. So I is equal to $109.955. So you have to round it off. So $109.96. It's mean at the end of 3 years, the Sami will get extra $109.96. Tanya invests $8,500 in an account paying 3.1% per year compound interest. It's a compound interest question, so we'll use compound interest formula. At the end of 5 years, she takes $9,300 from the account to buy new equipment for the business. Calculate how much money is left in the account after buying the new equipment. It's mean we have to calculate first the total amount at the end of 5 years. So let's extract the given information. So P is actual investment is $8,500. Interest rate is 3.1% annually, and it is compound interest. Time is 5 years, and the remaining amount we have to calculate. So first we need to calculate the total amount at the end of 5 years. So it's a compound interest question, so we will apply the compound interest formula. So A is equal to P times 1 plus R over 100 whole power T. Plug in all these values. So value of P is 8,500. Value of R is 3.1, and the time is 5 years. Use calculator to find the total amount at the end of 5 years. It is the 9,901.756. Drawn amount at the end of 5 years, she took some amount, and it is the $9,300. So remaining amount is total amount minus drawn amount. So it is $601.756, and we have to round it off. So it is $601.76. So she will left with $601 and $1.76 at the end of 5 years. Question number 4. Abid invests some money in a saving account. This account pays compound interest. At the end of 5 years, there is $1,822.38 in the account. Calculate the amount of money Abid invests in this account at 1.4% annually. Annually mean per year. So it is a compound interest question. So we will use compound interest formula. First, we need to extract the information from this question. So R is 1.4% and T is 5 years. Now here in this question, the total amount at the end of 5 years is given, which is $1,822.38, and we have to calculate the actual amount, the actual investment, which is P. So we have to calculate P. A compound interest formula is A is equal to P times 1 plus R over 100 power T. Plug in all these values in this formula. So A is 1822.38, P we have to calculate, R is 1.4 and time is 5. Now use your calculator to find this bracket. So 1822.38 is equal to P times 1.014 power 5. So divide these numbers to the left side. So P is equal to 1822.38 divided by 1.014 whole power 5. Use your calculator and find your answer. So P is equal to $1,700. So Abid has invested $1,700 for 5 years in this account. Question number 5. It's a very important question, and you need to use some tricky things on your calculator. Kamal invested $1,200 in a saving account, paying R% per year compound interest. In this question, our interest rate is unknown. He left the money in the account for 5 years, T is 5. At the end of 5 years, there was $1,312. It means this is the a total amount at the end of 5 years in the account. Calculate the value of R. So given information, principal amount $1,200, total amount $1,312, T 5 years, and R interest rate we have to calculate. It's a compound interest question. We have to apply compound interest formula. A is equal to P times 1 plus R over 100 power T. Plug in all these values. A is 1,312. Principal amount is 1,200. Bracket 1 plus R over 100 power T, and T is 5. Now we cannot calculate this because there is a variable in this bracket. So we will divide 1,312 by 1,200, and now we have to remove this power 5. To remove it, we need to take the fifth root to cancel this power. So on calculator, we'll take the fifth root. When the power is 5, you will take the fifth root. When the power is 3, we will take the cube root. When the power is 2, we'll take the square root. Right now the power is 5. We have to take the fifth root on calculator. So take the fifth root on both sides. When you use your calculator, you will take the fifth root of this fraction. You will get 1.018, and this power will be cancelled by the fifth root, and this bracket will come out of the power. So it will become 1 plus R over 100 equal to 1.018. Subtract this one, shift to the right hand side. So r over 100 is equal to 1.018 minus 1. So we will get left side, right hand side 0.18. So we will multiply r to the right hand side. So 100 times 0.018, and the final answer is $1.8. Student, I will prefer, whenever you are going to watch a question, you must pause the video and try to solve the question by yourself. And after solving, check your solution, and if you find any problem or error, you can consult the solution in this video. At the end of this video, the thing you learn by heart is compound interest formula. Thank you for watching this lesson. See you in next one.